I want to thank Deputy Cairns and the Social Democrats for bringing this motion forward. Every year since I've been elected, I, along with my colleagues, have been part of a small number of TDs that have opposed every single year the handing over of public funds to the greyhound racing industry. And it's great to see this motion and the debate that we're having now. The bottom line is that there is enormous cruelty involved in the greyhound racing industry. That's a bottom line, unavoidable point. That doesn't mean to say that there aren't greyhound racers who love their dogs, treat them well, etc. Of course there are. But there is incredible cruelty involved in the industry. And that's what I think many of the speakers in this debate want to avoid. I mean, up to 6,000 dogs a year killed because they don't race fast enough. Greyhounds exported to countries like Macau, which have effectively no animal welfare standards. Horrific stories of dogs being boiled alive. Not to talk about, for example, the use of drugs and so on within the greyhound racing industry in Ireland. There's a deep cruelty involved in it. And, I mean, the RTE did the whole public an enormous service with their RTE Investigates programme last year. It shone a light on this reality that many are trying to avoid. It was so blatant that even a government minister at the time was forced to express his, quote, deep concern. But what's the punishment for the industry after this expose of real cruelty and barbarity? An extra 2.4 million euros in subsidies next year. Incredible. It seems that when it comes to this cruel practice, the government has perhaps deep concern, but even deeper pockets. The government is proposing to hand over almost 20 million euros next year to line the pockets of the greyhound industry, without which the industry simply wouldn't survive. It would go away, and with it, the cruelty that comes with it. I mean, it is worth looking at what else that money could be spent on. It's ironic that, normally it's the government that says to the left, well, you can't spend all this money on everything, etc., etc. You have to make tough choices. But the choices that the government makes is to give this money to this cruel industry, as opposed to, for example, giving it to the Health and Safety Authority, the HSA, responsible for maintaining workplace health and safety, protecting millions of workers in Ireland, get the same support as the greyhound industry. That's a political choice. You can talk about the underfunding of our refuges. Today is International Day Against Gender Violence. That's a choice not to put the money there. It's time to stop subsidising cruelty. I just want to briefly respond to the points of Deputy Sherlock from the Labour Party. And unfortunately, the points from Sinn Féin as well. I mean, it doesn't bode well for my bill to ban hair coursing, unfortunately. I mean, Deputy Sherlock's argument was that we should keep giving this industry money because we buy some animal welfare standards. But, like, animal welfare standards can be set down in law. You can insist on it. You don't have to fund it. It doesn't make any sense. It's a nonsensical argument to continue funding this industry. It's a cruel industry. It should have its funding removed. We should spend the money elsewhere. Thanks.